Here are 5 of the worst deaths in human history. The last one is some serious Saw-type stuff. Number 5. Boiled alive. Ishikawa Goemon was an outlaw who lived in the late 1500s in feudal Japan, who rose to fame stealing from the rich and sharing his spoils with the poor. In modern times, he's become somewhat of a folk hero, being portrayed in anime, movies, and video games, so it's a little hard to tell what details about his life were real and what was made up. Some say he was originally a samurai, while others say he was actually a ninja. And while historians disagree on a lot of things, there's one thing they all agree on. His public execution, where he was boiled alive, was extremely cruel and unusual. But first, let's get into how he ended up in that situation. Goemon lived in a Japan ruled by Hideyoshi Toyotomi, a powerful warlord called a daimyo, who would become known as one of the 3 great unifiers of Japan. Uniting a country of samurais and ninjas is a bloody business, with a lot of collateral damage, and one story goes that Goemon's wife was unalived in one of Toyotomi's conquests, which made him hungry for revenge. Another story says he just hated Toyotomi because he thought he was a dick and an unfair ruler, but whatever the reason, Goemon decided to assassinate the daimyo. On a warm summer night in 1594, Goemon snuck into Fushimi Castle, Toyotomi's newly constructed retirement palace, and made it all the way to the daimyo's sleeping quarters. As he slowly crept his way toward Toyotomi, he knocked over a bell that alerted guards, leading to his capture. As we'll see in this video, attempted assassinations of leaders usually do not end well for the would-be assassin, and instead of getting the standard samurai head chop execution, Goemon was instead sentenced to death by boiling. Which already seems cruel enough, but as further punishment, Goemon's young son was also sentenced to be boiled with him. On the day of his execution, a crowd gathered in front of the Nanzenji Temple in Kyoto. Goemon and his son were placed into a large iron cauldron. It was filled with water and a fire was lit to begin the execution. As the water began to boil, Goemon desperately lifted his small child above his head in an attempt to save him. From here, there are 2 versions of what happened next, and I'll let you choose which one you want to believe. The first, as Goemon was struggling to keep his son out of the boiling water, onlookers, not being able to stand the sight, rushed in to rescue the boy, leading to a somewhat happy ending, as Goemon passed away seeing his son rescued and in safe hands. The second account is, far more horrific. As Goemon painfully held his crying son above his head, he looked out at the crowd and realized that no one was coming to help them, and despite his best efforts, his son would ultimately perish that day as well. Upon this dreaded realization, Goemon plunged his child into the boiling water, unaliving him as quickly as possible, and then held his steaming body above his head again as a giant middle finger to Toyotomi and all the onlookers who did nothing. He stared out at the crowd until he eventually passed away, slumping into the boiling pot of outlaw soup. Yeah, did I mention that it only gets worse from here?